Hey guys, so today's the day after Thanksgiving, so hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving. So this one, I'm sorry about the wind noise. It is windy outside, plus the Trailblazer does have like a couple air leaks in like the door seals and stuff, and they're hard to pinpoint. So I've tried doing a few things and it didn't really help, so I don't know what it is, but it probably just needs new weather stripping, honestly. But the weather stripping looks fine, so I don't know. But anyway, so this video is about the temperature gauge on these, just to let you know. Like my temperature gauge right there says 210. It's actually like a little bit above 210. I mean, it could be the angle too, but it's about 210 it says. But on the computer, you can see right there the WT is 200. And even though the other one says 210, this has not gone above 202 the whole time that this always says 210. This one is more accurate because this is hooked to the computer of the vehicle. That's more of a more accurate dummy gauge, but it's just a dummy gauge really. So, but yeah, this one is going to be the more accurate one. And also, the temperature gauge does, I mean, when you first start it, it does, you know, show that it's below 100 degrees and whatever. So it does kind of work, but overall, they didn't set it to be accurate. They just set it to be like, you know, once you start going above like 210, 220, it'll go up, but it won't be accurate exactly. But if you, these are not a sponsor, but I've had these in my videos in the past on my old like Ram videos and stuff. I've had like 3 of these things. None of them have gone bad. I sold a vehicle that had one in it. When I sold my red Monte Carlo that I had my videos, it had one in it. And I had another one in my 14 Ram a while ago that when I got, or sorry, I had it in my F-150. I had a 2008 F-150 and I had it in that. The only thing that these things are not really good for is vehicles that have cylinder deactivation, like the 14 Ram I had did, and the Challenger does. So I don't use them in the Challenger or anything like the 14 Ram I had because of that. If it doesn't have cylinder deactivation, they're fine. It just, a lot of the stuff is inaccurate when you have the cylinder deactivation, so it doesn't really make sense to have it. There are gauges that you can use. Like I can switch these 4 gauges to, I think one of like 20 different things or so. So I can change these to things that are more accurate with the cylinder deactivation, but the things that I would change it to, I don't really need to know is the thing. So it's not that big of a deal for me to get one for the Challenger anyway. But the only reason I even had it in the Ram was because I had it in the F-150 and I traded in the F-150 for the Ram, so I moved it over. And then I realized it doesn't work very well with the cylinder deactivation. So I just sold it to a buddy. So this is my 3rd one. I want to get one for the Ridgeline because the Ridgeline actually shows less information than this one does. So I want to get one for the Ridgeline too. So I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to eventually. So I can do a video about setting these things up at some point too. Because I know the other ones, I don't think I've set them up. I think I just had the, like I just showed what was, you know, what functions they had and stuff. But I can actually do like a setup video for these. They're not very hard. They just, they take a few times. The gas mileage, I'm noticing on this one, the gas mileage is a little off every time. So like when I go to fill up, I figure that I'm getting like, you know, this one's saying 14.8 miles per gallon. When I go to fill up, it'll be like 16 altogether. And then the next time, so I set it so it's accurate with the 16. And then the next time I fill up, it's like, it says I should have 18 gallons, but I only put in 16 again. So it just keeps on, it's not super accurate either. So that 14.9 is not super accurate either. It's going up, so. But either way, this thing gets like around 17 overall. With wintertime, probably a little bit less. But, and that's based on filling it up with gas and figuring out the mileage and all that stuff. So, but, so yeah, the temperature gauge on these, do not think that, you know, your engine is running hot all the time because they're saying 210. 210 is not really hot, but it's hotter than a normal vehicle normally runs. So don't freak out if that says 210, because I'm guessing a lot of them do, because it's just a normal thing. I've seen a lot of people's gauges say that. So yeah, don't freak out if it says 210. There's nothing really wrong with your vehicle. I mean, there could be, but most likely there's not. You know, if your coolant's old or whatever like that, it could be running 210. But But if you want to get something like this is called a stand gauge 2. They have them like AutoZone and stuff and online, whatever. They're over $100. Normally they're like 140, I think. To me, it's like, in a way it's worth it, and then in another way it's not. So I don't mind really paying it because it is kind of worth it in some ways. So, and I do like having the extra information and stuff too, like the water temp being accurate, and also the air intake temperature, that 42 degrees, so I know what's going in the intake and all that stuff. So it's nice to have. But other than that, if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. I'm honestly, because I was sick, I was trying to figure out other things to do with videos and stuff, and since the Challenger's now in the garage parked for the winter, because it is snowing outside and stuff, I'm not going to be doing any videos on that. And then the Ridgeline is not my winter vehicle. This is my winter vehicle because this one's rusty and all that stuff. So the Ridgeline is like 99.8% rust free. So I'm going to get it undercoated, and same with this one. I'm going to get this one undercoated too, with like an oil-based mixture of some sort. But this one is the more important one because it's going to be this straight up winter vehicle until it dies, and then the Ridgeline is going to take over. Because out here they use salt, so everything rusts. So if I start using the Ridgeline, it's going to start rusting pretty quick. So, and then this thing also has 4-wheel drive, even though the 4 high and 4 low don't work. Something's wrong with the transfer case, so it needs a new transfer case. Auto 4 still works. So the only thing is when it works, it kind of slams into the gear, like into the 4-wheel drive. So I don't want to, I don't like using it that much because there's too much slamming going on. And but I have to use it. So I'm gonna take this to my buddy eventually, and I might get a new transfer case put in it if the frame and everything is still okay. He said it might last like 2 or 3 years maybe. So I'm kind of debating on doing the transfer case or not, because it's not super easy to do. So it's not going to be too cheap either. So we'll see. But so I'll figure that out at some point too. But if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. And hope you had a good Thanksgiving, because it was yesterday for when I'm recording this. And I'll see you on the next one.